Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Thanks for coming out. Got a little story for you like I always do. I had a mower advertised gentleman contacted me, was inquiring about it. He said, I got a mower, but it's running rough. I want to buy yours. I says, well, what's yours doing? He said, well, I go to cut the grass. It's got no power. I says, do you have the wheels at the highest position to cut through the higher grass? He says, no. So I'm looking at it. This is the actual mower, and it's scalping. So he said, do you want to take this one in on trade? And I says, well, what brand is it? Because if it's a PowerMore, I'm not interested. He said, Yardworks. So I looked it up. I didn't realize it was a China model, but it is. But we'll get to that. So he says, well, where'd you get the one you're selling? I said, well, I take them in on trade, or I've got metal scrappers that I buy them from. He says, oh, no, thanks. I don't want any more problems. So he messaged me a couple hours later. He said, oh, I got another Craftsman. Do you want to buy this one off of me? And I says, no, not particularly. He said he wanted $20 for it initially. Then he messaged me. I said no. He messaged me back and said, well, I'm just going to put it to the street. Why don't you just come and get it? So I ended up going out there and gave him $10 for it. I told him use that money for gas for the Craftsman. So I had talked to him on the phone, and he had started this thing, and it sounded terrible. I didn't start it at his location. I just unloaded it here. Mr. Rat's out because the cap's got rat damage. This is a China machine, a 2010 something or other. I'm not sure what it is. But as you saw the front label there, it's both in French and English, so I'm sure they export this thing to Canada as well. So we're going to go through it. Oh, there's a sticker on the back. It says assembled in the USA. Ratty rat. You know how that goes. Assembled in the USA with foreign components. That's definitely a China engine. It's in French and English. You don't see that very often. The multi-language on the labeling. Let's look at the air filter, check the oil. See what's wrong with this hunk of junk. So this resembles a Kohler. This is probably a Kohler filter. And it's oil saturated. These pleats are totally soaked. So that's a heads up. Wow. So this thing might have been suffocating. That could have been a running issue. He said no power, and I could hear it over the phone. It sounded terrible. I'm going to leave this off until we figure out what's going on. overfilled. It doesn't look too bad, but it's just way up here, too much. There's a 70 here. I wonder if that's 70 milliliters. I wonder if that's your full mark. This is hard to understand. The hash mark stops right there, so this thing could be way overfilled. What do you think? Is that the line or is that the line? This is kind of crazy. Or is that your low caution line? I'm thinking it should be up here maybe. I'm gonna have to try to find a video on this to see what the line is. Well, anyway, let's try starting it. If it don't start, we'll pour off some oil. Non-priming unit, automatic choke, it looks like. Let's pull and go. That's uncool. Motivation 101. See what the issue is. The safety brake cable is not bringing the linkage back. It's weak, and I see it's got a big kink in it. I'm going to clip the handle. I don't know how he got it going. Unless he knew how to rig it. That's how it sounded on the phone. Okay, the smoke is killing me. What the deal was is I came over and looked at the choke wafer, and it was stuck in the closed position. So it was not opening up, choking out the engine. I stuck a screwdriver in there to open it up all the way. We got to determine what setup this has for an automatic choke, if it runs off of the exhaust or what this setup is, and figure out why the choke wafer is not opening. So why don't we come to the other side, pour off a little oil, then try it again, see if it cleans up the smoke burning here, oil burning. And then we'll try it. Like I said, I got to research this and figure out what's full and what's low on the dipstick. With it running, it kicked it all the way up here, so that means we may be burning this excess oil. Just going by experience, the hash marks are your oil, high and low. So I think it's down here. It would really confuse Harvey and Helen, the homeowner, if this was your high mark. I'm assuming it's down here. Maybe the guy thought it was this line and then filled it up to here accidentally. We got a ways to go. That's a little bit better. Oily. brought Mr. Rat back into the picture. So I gave 10 for it. It wasn't a just pull and go. We got issues, overfill crankcase, I believe. I need a new safety brake cable. It's not pulling it. And new air filter for sure. I got to do research and figure out what the maximum amount of oil on this dipstick is. And the blade looked like it had some wear. When I had it on the side to pour out oil, I glanced over and I think we have some blade issues. So kind of a hunk of junk so far. I probably should have taken it for free instead of throwing a 10 at him. But I figured, what the hell. We could still be overfilled. Maybe I can find the original manufacturer's video on maintenance for this. Some of the brands have maintenance videos for Harvey and Helen to figure out this kind of stuff. Auto choke, just pull to start. I don't think so. So I'll mess with this turd. I should have brought out at least a single turd for this thing. I didn't. I brought out Mr. Rat. Anyway, thanks for coming out, looking at this 2010 China reproduction. I'll mess with this some more. Try to figure out what the deal is with the carb. This auto choke. How's the choke operated? If it's from the a thermostatic thermo wafer from the muffler, or what, is a big mystery. Whatever it is, it's not operating. It's leaving the choke in the closed position, hence all that black smoke and the running issue. This wasn't helpful at all either. Anyway, I left my card with this guy. Said if he had any issues with what he bought, he could call me. No hard feelings. He bought from somebody else. Hopefully that Craftsman he bought was maintained and the blade was sharp, the oil was changed, and he got a new air filter with the deal. If not, well, that's kind of too bad. Have a good day today. Appreciate you coming out, checking out my channel. Please like and subscribe. Also, tip your waitress and wait staff. They're doing a fantastic job, and they love the tips that you're leaving.